Hey guys, welcome back to the video. Today we're going to be seeing who I think are MLB contenders for the World Series, my World Series predictions, who will miss the playoffs. You get it, you know. First we're starting with the Diamondbacks. I think this is kind of hard because, you know, they made the World Series last year, but I think I'd say either playoff lock or playoff contender, but I think right now they are a playoff contender. They may miss the playoffs. The Braves, you know, earlier I was thinking before Acuna and Strider got injured, World Series, they would be in my prediction. But, you know, now I was thinking contenders, but I don't know, just the way they've been playing. I don't know if they're even at contenders right now, but I'll put them at a playoff lock because they're making the playoffs. Orioles, you know, no one really likes the Orioles for whatever reason. But shout out to Orioles fans if you're watching. But I think they're contenders. They're not in my World Series predictions, but they are a contender. The Red Sox, I think, you know, the way they've been playing recently, I think they could be a playoff lock over a playoff contender. I'll put them behind the Braves. The Cubs, I mean, the Cubs are fine, but miss playoff contender. I'd say they probably missed the playoffs, but I guess you don't really know. And then White Sox are trash. The Reds, Ellie De La Cruz, he's been really good. I think they are a playoff lock. I think I might put them, you know, I'll put them right behind the Braves. Guardians have been playing really well. I'd say contender behind the Orioles. The Rockies are trash, not as bad as the White Sox though. The Tigers, I think the Tigers missed the playoffs and they're behind the Cubs. Then the Astros. The Astros are a playoff lock. And I'm putting them ahead of the Braves. And I am a Braves fan if you didn't know. Kansas City Royals. I think they are a playoff lock right behind the Red Sox. The Angels. With Trout, I'd say they're just a missed playoffs, which Trout's going to return. So I'll put them at missed playoffs, you know, ahead of the Tigers, behind the Cubs. Dodgers. Dodgers are in my World Series prediction. Marlins. They're trash, I'd say. Where do I put them ahead of the Tigers? I think I'll just leave them at trash. Brewers. They're a playoff lock. I'll put them ahead of the Astros even because, like, you know, the Mariners, they're really contending for the AL West, so, and the Brewers are way in front to win their division. So yeah, I put the Brewers ahead of the Astros. Twins, I think they're also a playoff lock, and I put them ahead of the Royals behind the Red Sox. Mets. I think the Mets are a playoff contender behind the Diamondbacks. Yankees. I think the Yankees are... I think they're contenders ahead of the Orioles. Oakland Athletics. They're just trash. They are trash. I'm putting them right in front of right behind the Rockies. Right in front of the White Sox. And, you know, as a Braves fan, I'm sad to say, but I think the Phillies are the other team in the World Series. So I think it's Dodgers-Phillies. But I think the Dodgers do end up beating the Phillies pretty easily. I know the Dodgers did just get swept by the Phillies, but I think Dodgers beat Phillies in like 5 or maybe 6 at most. You know, I really just don't believe in the Phillies winning the World Series. And I might be a little bit biased because I'm a Braves fan, but I don't care. Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's a playoff contender, and I'll put them ahead of the Mets. Padres, they're a playoff contender ahead of the Diamondbacks. The Giants are a playoff contender. I'll put them behind the Pirates in front of the Mets. The Mariners, I think the Mariners are a playoff lock. Put them ahead of the Royals. You know, yeah, I think that's where I'll put it. St. Louis Cardinals. I think they're a playoff contender right in front of the Padres. Tampa Bay Rays. I think they're a playoff contender. But, you know, I don't know. I think they are a playoff contender right behind the Mets. Actually, right in front of the Mets and the Giants. There you go. The Rangers, who won the World Series last year. Not really believing in them this year, though. I think they are a playoff contender at first. Then Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays... this is probably bad prediction. I had at the start of the year. I said the Blue Jays would get over 100 wins. They're not gonna. But I still think they're a playoff contender. Ahead of the Giants. And the Rays, even though the Rays are ahead of them. Or so I'll even put them ahead of the Pirates. Yeah. And then the last team's the Nationals. I think the Nationals... I think they're just a playoffs team, and they're behind the Tigers. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe and like. Leave your review of this in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinion. Probably don't agree with that at all, but that's okay.